Life has a way of knocking you down when you least expect it. One moment, everything seems to be going your way, and the next, you're flat on your back wondering how you got here. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe a relationship you thought would last forever shattered before your eyes. Maybe you took a risk, gave it everything you had, and still failed, and now you feel broken, defeated, like you don't even recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. But listen to me, this is not where your story ends. See, the problem isn't that you failed. The problem isn't that life hit you hard. The real issue is that you think you're supposed to stay down. You think because you failed once, that's it. You think because you made mistakes, you're too far gone. But let me tell you something. Falling is not failing. The only real failure is refusing to get back up. Everybody falls. The great ones, the strong ones, the successful ones, they all fell at some point. But you know what separates them from the ones who never make it? They refuse to stay down. They got up even when it hurt. They got up even when they didn't feel like it. They got up even when the world told them they couldn't. You got to stop acting like your setback is the end of your story. This isn't a period. This is a comma. You're in a chapter, not the whole book. I know it's tough. I know you're tight. I know you've been carrying the weight of failure, of disappointment, of regret. But hear me. You are stronger than you think. You were built for this. And if you're still breathing, that means you still have fight left in you. Some of you are sitting there replaying every mistake you've ever made, every wrong turn, every time you let yourself or someone else down. You're living in the past, trapped in a loop of guilt and shame. But listen, what's done is done. You can't change yesterday, but you can change what you do right now. You can make a decision at this very moment that you will not let your past define you. You will not let your failures control you. You will not let what happened to you determine what happens next. And I know what you're thinking, but you don't know what I've been through. You're right, I don't. But I do know that you're not the only one who's been through pain. You're not the only one who's been betrayed. You're not the only one who's had a dream shattered, a heart broken, a future ripped away. And yet there are people who have gone through the same storm and they rebuilt. They found a way to rise. And if they did it, so can you. The question is, are you willing? Are you willing to stand back up even when you feel weak? Are you willing to move forward even when the weight of the past is pulling at your heels? Because rebuilding yourself isn't about waiting for life to get easier. It's about deciding that no matter how hard it gets, you will not quit. It's about looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am more than my pain. I am more than my past. I am more than this moment. So what if you fail? Failure is a lesson, not a life sentence. So what if people walked away? That just means they weren't meant to be part of your next chapter. So what if things didn't go as planned? Maybe that plan wasn't big enough for you. Maybe life had to break you so you could rebuild into something stronger, something unshakable. It's time to make a choice. You can stay where you are, stuck in regret, drowning in self-pity, or you can get up. You can take one step forward, even if it's small, even if it hurts, even if you don't feel ready. Because the truth is, you'll never feel ready. You'll never have the perfect moment. You just have to decide that you're done being a victim. You're done letting life push you around. You're done making excuses. You are powerful beyond measure. You have greatness inside of you. But none of that matters if you don't fight for it. None of that matters if you stay on the ground. So stand up, wipe the dust off, square your shoulders, look life in the eye and let it know you are not done. You are just getting started. You've been carrying this version of yourself for so long that you've started to believe this is all you are. You've let your past define you. Let your mistakes shape your identity. Let the words of people who don't even know your heart become the voice inside your head. But let me tell you something. You are more than what happened to you. You are more than the pain, more than the failure, more than the disappointment. That version of you, that's not who you have to be anymore. See, too many people get stuck because they never stop to ask, who am I really? They accept the labels life has thrown at them. They let the world tell them they're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. And they start living small. They start making choices based on who they think they have to be instead of who they were born to be. But listen, if you don't take the time to redefine yourself, life will do it for you. And life will always try to make you smaller than you are. You were created with purpose. You weren't put here to just survive, to just get by, to just exist. You were put here to become. But you can't become anything if you're holding on to an identity that no longer serves you. That means you got to let go of the past version of yourself. You got to stop telling yourself, this is just who I am. No, that's just who you've been. That's who life shaped you into when you weren't paying attention. But now you have a choice. Now you get to decide who you will be. And I know some of you are struggling because you feel like you don't even know where to start. You've spent so long playing a role that you don't know what's real anymore. You've been the provider, the fighter, the one who always has to be strong, the one who never asks for help, the one who takes care of everybody else but never yourself, and you've lost you in the process. But hear me, you can find yourself again. You can rebuild from the inside out. But first, you got to stop identifying with your pain. You got to stop introducing yourself to the world through the lens of your struggles. You are not your trauma. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your lowest moment. If you keep speaking as if you're still that broken person, you will never step into your power. You got to start declaring who you are before you even see it. You got to start walking like you're whole, even if you still feel broken. You got to start moving like a champion, even if you still feel like you're losing. Because identity isn't just about what you've been through, it's about what you choose to become. And if you keep choosing the same version of yourself, you'll keep living the same life. Let me ask you something. Who would you be if you weren't afraid? Who would you be if you didn't let your past control you? Who would you be if you actually believed in yourself? That person, that's the real you. That's the you that's been buried under doubt and fear and insecurity. But it's time to bring that person back. You can't afford to keep living in an identity that keeps you small. You can't afford to keep walking around like you don't have purpose. You can't afford to keep pretending like you don't matter, because every day you do, you're wasting time. And time is the one thing you don't get back. So from this moment forward, you have to make a decision. You have to decide to let go of who you used to be. You have to decide to stop playing small. You have to decide that you are worthy of a new beginning. Because if you don't decide, life will decide for you. And trust me, you don't want to live a life that someone else chose for you. So stand up, look yourself in the mirror, and say it out loud. I am not my past. I am not my mistakes. I am not my pain. I am becoming everything I was created to be. Say it like you mean it. Say it until you believe it. Because the moment you change your identity, you change your life. Let's be real. Life is not going to hand you anything. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to do it for you. At some point, you have to take ownership of your life. You have to stop waiting for circumstances to change and start making the change yourself. You have to stop pointing fingers, stop blaming your past, stop making excuses. Because the moment you take responsibility, everything shifts. That's the moment you take back control. See, it's easy to blame. It's easy to say, I would be further along if they had supported me. I would have made it if they hadn't left me. I would have succeeded if life hadn't been so unfair. But listen, as long as you're blaming something outside of yourself, you're giving away your power. As long as you keep saying it's somebody else's fault, you're saying you have no control over your own future. And I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that you were put here to just react to life instead of shaping it. I get it. Maybe you didn't start with the best hand. Maybe you weren't given the same opportunities as someone else. Maybe life has knocked you down more times than you can count. But guess what? That's still not an excuse to stay down. You don't get to control what happened to you, but you do get to control how you respond. You do get to control what happens next. And if you keep waiting for life to fix itself, you're going to be waiting forever. The hardest thing you will ever do is look in the mirror and say, it's on me. Not on my parents, not on my boss, not on my friends. It's on me. My success, on me. My growth, on me. My healing, on me. Because the day you accept responsibility for where you are is the day you take the first step toward where you want to be. Some of you have been stuck in the same place for years, not because you don't have potential, not because you don't have the ability, but because you refuse to own your situation. You keep waiting for motivation, but motivation is not coming. You keep waiting for a sign, but the sign is you waking up every morning with breath in your lungs. That's the sign. That's the proof that you still have time to make a change. Nobody owes you anything. Read that again. Nobody owes you a second chance. Nobody owes you an opportunity. Nobody owes you a fresh start. But you owe it to yourself to stop wasting time. You owe it to yourself to stop making excuses. You owe it to yourself to give everything you've got to this life while you still have the chance. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep complaining, keep replaying the past, keep wishing things were different? Or are you going to stand up, take control, and make something happen? Because at the end of the day, it's your life. And if you don't take ownership of it, somebody else will. If you don't write your story, the world will write it for you. And trust me, you won't like the version they created. This is your moment right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, decide that from this point forward, you are in charge of your life. Decide that no matter what has happened, no matter who did or didn't support you, no matter how many times you've fallen, you are going to take full responsibility. Because the second you do, you take back your power. And once you have that, nothing can stop you. Life is going to test you. It's going to push you. It's going to throw obstacles in your way that make you question whether you even have what it takes. And for some of you, the moment things get hard, you start backing down. You start doubting yourself. You start telling yourself, maybe you're not built for this. Maybe this isn't your path. But listen to me. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your mindset. And if your mindset is weak, everything around you will be weak. If you don't train yourself to see challenges as opportunities, you will spend your entire life running from the very things designed to make you stronger. Some of you have been playing it safe for too long because you're afraid to fail. You've been tiptoeing around life, avoiding anything that looks like a challenge because you don't want to struggle. But struggle is where the growth happens. Struggle is where you find out what you're made of. You say you want to be great. You say you want to reach the next level, but the second things get tough, you start questioning everything. You let fear talk you out of your own greatness. You let self-doubt convince you that maybe this isn't for you. But hear me, growth. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Nothing about rebuilding yourself is comfortable. It's going to stretch you. It's going to test you. It's going to break you down so that you can be rebuilt into something greater. You have to change the way you see the struggle. Stop looking at it like something that's happening to you and start seeing it as something that's happening for you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Every setback is an invitation to level up. But you won't see that if your mindset is weak. You won't see that if you're still letting life dictate how you feel, how you move, how you operate. You have to train yourself to see beyond the moment. You have to train yourself to think bigger. Some of you have been stuck in the same cycle for years, not because you don't have potential, not because you don't have talent, but because your mind hasn't caught up to your vision. You keep trying to grow externally, but your mindset is still operating at the same level it was 5 years ago. And as long as your mindset stays the same, your life will stay the same. You have to shift the way you think before anything around you will change. You have to start seeing failure as feedback, not as a reason to quit. You have to start embracing difficulty instead of running from it. Because the truth is, nothing worth having comes easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You've got to stop waiting for things to get easier and start getting stronger. You've got to stop waiting for the right circumstances and start creating the right mindset. You keep saying you want to win, but are you really willing to endure what it takes? Are you really willing to push through the discomfort? Are you really willing to go through the process? Because that's what this is. It's a process. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become the best version of yourself. You have to fight for it. You have to be intentional. Some of you need to unlearn the way you've been thinking. You've been conditioned to believe that failure is the end, when really it's just the beginning. You've been taught that struggle means stop, when really it means keep going. Every time you hit a wall, you have a choice. Do you turn back or do you find a way through? That decision, that's what separates those who make it from those who don't. That's what separates those who succeed from those who spend their whole lives wondering what could have been. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep seeing challenges as reasons to quit, or are you going to start seeing them as opportunities to grow? Are you going to keep letting life push you around, or are you going to stand up and take control? Because the truth is, the moment you shift your mindset, everything else will follow. The moment you decide that nothing can break you, that nothing can stop you, that every obstacle is just another step toward your success, that's the moment you become unstoppable. You keep saying you want to change. You keep saying you want to rebuild yourself. You keep saying you want to reach the next level. But let me ask you something. What are you doing daily to make that happen? What does your routine look like? What habits are you building? Because I need you to understand something. Your life is not shaped by what you do once in a while. Your life is shaped by what you do every single day. Success isn't about getting hyped up for a few days and then falling back into the same patterns. It's about consistency. It's about discipline. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. Some of you have been tricked into believing that motivation is what's going to get you there. That if you just stay inspired, if you just keep watching the right videos, if you just wait for the right moment, then you'll finally change. But let me tell you something. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. You are not always going to feel like showing up. You are not always going to feel like putting in the work. You are not always going to feel like pushing yourself. And if you are depending on motivation to carry you, you are already setting yourself up to fail. What separates those who make it from those who don't? It's discipline. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's picking up early, even when you're tired. It's going to the gym, even when you don't want to. It's reading the books, doing the work, sticking to the plan, even when nobody is watching, even when nobody is clapping for you, even when it feels like it's not working. Because let me tell you something, results don't show up overnight. Progress doesn't happen instantly. And that's where most people quit. Most people quit because they don't see immediate results. They start a new habit, they put in the work for a few weeks, and when they don't see massive change, they give up. They say, it's not working, I guess this isn't for me. But that's not how this works. You have to understand that every small habit, every small action is a deposit into your future. You may not see the results immediately, but every time you show up, every time you stay consistent, you are building something greater than you can see right now. Some of you are stuck in cycles, not because you lack talent, not because you lack potential, but because you lack discipline. You start and stop. You commit for a while and then let distractions pull you back. You get excited for a few days and then lose focus. And that's why your life looks the same year after year, because you keep waiting for change to just happen instead of committing to becoming the person who makes it happen. You want to rebuild yourself? Start with your habit. Start with your discipline. Start with what you do every single day. Because that's where transformation happens. Not in one big moment, not in some overnight breakthrough, but in the daily decision to show up for yourself over and over again until you become the person you were meant to be. Because once you master discipline, everything changes. Once you master discipline, there is nothing that can stop you. You cannot rebuild yourself if you're still surrounded by the same people who are keeping you stuck. You cannot grow if you're still holding on to relationships that drain you, environments that limit you, and conversations that keep you thinking small. Some of you are trying to change, but you're still connected to people who don't want you to change. You're still letting their mindset rub off on you. You're still entertaining the same distractions, still allowing the same negativity into your space. And then you wonder why it feels like you're running in place. Listen, the people around you matter. The conversations you engage in matter. The energy you allow into your life matters. And if you are serious about rebuilding yourself, if you are serious about becoming the person you were meant to be, you have to start being intentional about who you allow in your circle. Because not everybody is meant to go where you're going. Not everybody is supposed to be part of your next level. Some people were only meant to be in your life for a season, but you're still trying to bring them into your future. And that's why you feel so heavy. That's why you feel like something is holding you back. You have to start asking yourself, who am I surrounded by? Are these people pushing me forward, or are they keeping me in the same place? Do they challenge me to grow, or do they encourage my bad habits? When I share my vision, do they uplift me, or do they shut me down? Because if the people around you don't inspire you, if they don't push you to be better, if they don't want to see you win, then why are they still in your life? Some of you are afraid to let go because you've known these people for years. You've grown comfortable with them. But let me tell you something. Growth and comfort cannot exist in the same space. If you're serious about growth, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to walk away from friendships that no longer serve you. You have to be willing to distance yourself from environments that no longer align with where you're going. And I know it's hard. I know it hurts. I know it's not easy to outgrow people you care about. But what's the alternative? Stay stuck? Keep shrinking yourself to fit in spaces you've already outgrown? Keep limiting your potential just to make other people comfortable? No, you were not put here to live small. You were not put here to dim your light so that other people don't feel insecure around you. You need to get around people who think bigger. You need to get around people who challenge you, who make you uncomfortable in the best way, who make you level up just by being in the same room as them. If you're always the smartest person in your circle, you need a new circle. If you're always the most driven person in your group, you need a new group. Because the truth is, you will always rise or fall to the level of the people around you. This is your life. This is your future. And you cannot afford to waste any more time in spaces that don't help you grow. You cannot afford to keep surrounding yourself with people who don't believe in you, who don't support you, who don't push you. If you want to rebuild yourself, it starts with who you allow into your space. Because the right people will elevate you and the wrong people will destroy you. Choose wisely. Some of you are waiting for the perfect moment to start. You keep telling yourself, I'll begin when I have more time. I'll go after my dreams when life settles down. I'll take that step when I feel ready. But let me tell you something. You will never feel ready. You will never have the perfect conditions. Life is never going to slow down and hand you the opportunity wrapped up in a nice little package with a bow on top. If you keep waiting for the right moment, you'll be waiting forever. You have to start now. You have to move now. You have to take action while you're scared, while you're uncertain, while you're still figuring things out. Because clarity doesn't come from waiting. Clarity comes from movement. Confidence doesn't come from sitting around thinking about it. Confidence comes from doing. You will never develop the strength, the skills, the discipline, or the mindset you need if you keep waiting for things to be easy. Some of you keep making excuses, talking about how you don't have the right resources, you don't have the right connections, you don't have the money, you don't have the knowledge. But listen, everybody who has ever done anything great started with nothing but a decision. They started with nothing but a desire to be better. They started with nothing but the willingness to take the first step, even when they didn't know what was coming next. The truth is, most people never reach their full potential because they are afraid to start small. They don't want to begin at the bottom. They don't want to be seen struggling. They don't want to look like they don't know what they're doing. But that's the process. That's how you grow. You have to be willing to be a beginner. You have to be willing to step out even when you feel unqualified, even when you don't have all the answers, even when you're afraid people will judge you. Because guess what? People will judge you. People will talk. People will doubt you. But their opinions don't pay your bills. Their opinions don't build your future. You can't let the fear of failure stop you from starting. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to mess up. You're going to have moments where you feel like you have no idea what you're doing. But that's how you learn. That's how you grow. You don't build confidence by avoiding failure. You build confidence by failing and realizing it didn't break you. You build confidence by falling and getting back up. Some of you are sitting on talents, on dreams, on ideas that could change your life, but you keep talking yourself out of them. You keep convincing yourself it's not the right time. You keep telling yourself you're not good enough yet. But let me tell you, there is somebody out there less talented than you, with fewer resources than you, who is making it happen simply because they started. So what are you going to do? Keep watching, keep waiting, keep overthinking, or are you finally going to move? Because let me tell you something. The clock is ticking. Time is not waiting for you to be ready. Life is moving forward with or without you. And every day you wait is a day you will never get back. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Stop waiting for the right moment and make this moment the one that changes everything. Because the second you take action, the second you commit, the second you decide that today, not tomorrow, not next week, but today is the day you stop waiting and start building, that's the second your life begins to change. You've come too far to stop now. You've put in too much work, gone through too much pain, sacrificed too much to turn back. But here's the truth. There's going to be a moment when you feel like quitting. A moment when everything in you says, I can't do this anymore. A moment when the struggle feels too heavy, when the progress seems too slow, when the obstacles look too big. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can give up or you can keep pushing. You can walk away or you can stand up and fight for what's yours. Most people quit when it gets hard. Most people stop when they don't see immediate results. Most people walk away when things don't go as planned. But not you. Not this time. Not after everything you've been through. You didn't come this far just to make it this far. You didn't endure all that pain, all that hardship just to stop now. You've got more in you. You've got more fight left. You've got more strength than you even realize. See, the difference between the people who make it and the people who don't isn't talent. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's perseverance. It's the ability to keep going when everything inside of you wants to stop. It's the ability to dig deep when you feel like you have nothing left. It's the ability to say, I don't care how hard this gets, I'm not stopping until I get there. Some of you have been tested like never before. Life has thrown everything at you. You've been knocked down, betrayed, overlooked. And you're wondering, why me? Why does it have to be so hard? But hear me, everything you're going through is shaping you. Every struggle is making you stronger. Every setback is preparing you for the next level. And if you walk away now, if you quit now, you'll never see the other side. You'll never know what was waiting for you if you had just held on a little longer. I know it's tough. I know you're tired. I know you're looking at your situation and thinking, I don't know how much more I can take. But listen, you are closer than you think. You are stronger than you think. And if you can just push through this moment, if you can just find the strength to take one more step, you will see that everything you've been working for is on the other side of this battle. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who give up when it gets hard and those who dig deeper. Which one are you? Are you going to let your struggles break you, or are you going to use them to build you? Are you going to let fear stop you, or are you going to push forward in spite of it? Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to one question. How bad do you want it? If you want it bad enough, you'll keep going. If you want it bad enough, you'll fight through the pain. If you want it bad enough, you'll refuse to quit, because the only way you lose is if you stop. The only way you fail is if you give up. But if you keep pushing, if you keep fighting, if you keep showing up day after day after day, there is no limit to what you can achieve. So don't stop now. Don't quit now. Don't throw away everything you've worked for just because it's hard. You've got what it takes. You've always had what it takes. Now prove it.